There we are.
And we are live from the garage, just because that's where all the stuff is. And there's too much stuff to fit anywhere else.
Hello.
There's an area. So we have sold Inspiration House. We have moved out of Inspiration House. We had a sale there, an estate sale, with the help of Alan Campbell and his family. And they were wonderful, fantastic people. They moved a lot of things. And of course, there's a fair amount that did not move, mostly collectible things. There were a few things also that we pulled out of the estate sale because, quite frankly, I didn't think that Paranormal State memorabilia was going to get like the kind of coverage at the estate sale that it probably deserves. And I know several people had been asking specifically about that. I'm on the fence if I want to sell off the shadow box of my mask.
See, some of the things that you mentioned, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh,
that's a good example.
I saved the blindfold that I used on almost all of the episodes of Paranormal State. Yeah. By the nature of the thing, like it was actually like these two layers of some sort of like, I don't know what, but the internal layer like got very nasty. It just pulverized. So it's in a box. It's in the little display. It looks pretty misshapen, but it is exactly what it claims to be. And it is somewhere because I rescued it from the house before we sold everything. And I'm debating. There's some things that I want to keep for me. But there are a whole bunch of other things that we want to start unloading. And rather than just yeet things out of the house, we want to give everybody the opportunity to have some fun collectibles.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where to start. You know, I'm going to start with just a tiny little thing. So there's a lot of like little knickknacks and doodads. So like this is just a little spell bag that I'd left for people at Inspiration House in case they felt overwhelmed. So this one is for clearing, and it's got a black worry stone inside of it, a key, a little charm that says breathe, and a dried sprig of rosemary to either smoke, not smoke, but like you would smudge, or to dip in water in a spurge for cleansing and clearing. And this is one of the ones that didn't get used. So we have a happy little spell bag.
Cleansing bag. So
yeah.
So for the things that you talked about,
yeah,
I'm going to put them on this shelf.
Okay.
Where people can see them. But so nobody has asked this question yet.
Yeah.
But I realized it's the kind of question that we should just answer before people have to ask. So with these things,
yeah,
how does it work if someone wants to buy them?
Well, we're going to put them up on the website. I am going to have a write-up with everything. So something like this, you'll get instructions for like what's in the bag, what is its purpose, and how do you use it. In case you want to actually just buy it as a spell bag and call it good, or if you want it as a keepsake and keep that as like a little display, all of that is fine. I promise they will look fancy because I'm very fancy.
And you have so many nice calligraphy pens.
I have so much parchment paper. I am I love good pens and good paper all over the place. Actually, speaking of pens,
this is how this is going to go.
Yeah, this is how this is going to go. I'm just going to go with whatever. Okay, so this is the beneficent and the baneful. So I do a lot of my magic through the written word. Surprise, surprise. And these were not on display at Inspiration House. These were here on one of my personal altars, but I think it's time to let them go. They've just been sitting there gathering dust. So we're sort of in the spirit of like, what else should we release into the world?
Yeah, and finding things, honestly, I feel like the driving purpose behind letting Inspiration House go is the sense that like someone else would be able to use this for something much more meaningful to them.
Yeah.
And it was time
for
it to
we have so much stuff. You're a minimalist.
Oh,
I'm probably a maximalist, but not intentionally. And so we're trying to just let stuff. So the beneficent and the baneful. These are two pens, pewter pens. They're very fancy. So this one is covered in serpents. Ooh. This one has an angel. I've had these since I worked at booksellers, I think, in like 96 or so. And I would use them to write out and scribe like the prayers or intentions or instructions for spells when I was doing things for people. The baneful was for releasing and sending back, and the kind of retribution magic that you'll see in my little book of wicked spells. This one was all positive, beneficent stuff, intentions and blessings for self and for others. They still work reluctantly. Curiously, the serpent one works better than the angel one. Take that for what you will. I am uncertain if you can replace their ink cartridges. I haven't tried to take them apart, but they will be going on the block for people, either as a collector's item or for something to try to use yourself. It's 20 years of magical charging. If you don't like my energy, don't buy it, because you're going to have a good chunk of it sitting in your house. Just be forewarned.
Warning. All right. So what I'm doing over here, it's
Oh,
if
okay.
you want to
Yeah.
show stuff. I'm gonna lay stuff out, and then you can select from it.
Give me the little black-haired doll.
This one?
Yeah.
It's a very tall one.
Yeah, tall doll. All right. So this one initially was not a haunted doll, but she has sat among all of the haunted dolls at Inspiration House for the duration, and I suspect she has soaked up a little bit of the ooky spooky all by herself. So she is one of the dolls that is going to be on display. This one, so when I was putting together the display room for Inspiration House, there were several dolls that I had that were abjectly haunted, two of which now live at the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft. I've seen what that display looks like, but it's not public yet, so I can't talk about it, but there's a display. Anyway, I just picked up at the local Goodwill. There were several that I was just like, this one looks interesting, this one looks interesting, doesn't seem haunted, looks interesting. Because the goal was to have an assortment and have people sort of learn by doing that. Sometimes we think it's haunted just because we have a lot of associations with dolls being haunted. Some of them were. So the idea was like this very interactive display. You could pick up the dolls, you could handle them, you could try to talk to them. And I had a key hidden behind the display to see which ones I thought were haunted and what I had picked up off of them. So you could kind of test your own perceptions against that. She was initially in the not haunted pile, N, but things do absorb energy over time. She doesn't seem intelligent to me. I mean, no offense to the doll, but well, there's a difference between a residual haunting and an intelligent haunting. I realized the phrasing was terrible in this particular instance. But anyway, so doll number one. That shelf is too small. Yep. She doesn't.
She can go lower.
You know what? I'm just going to lay her down. There.
The lower shelves are taller.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, she can stare at me, I guess.
That's not creepy at all.
Sure. She's got a porcelain face, so I want to make sure she doesn't fall over.
Oh, yeah.
Another tiny one, also not haunted, although I will admit I was on the fence with this one. Similar story. Picked her up at the local Goodwill. She has a little porcelain face and little porcelain hands. Age of the doll is unknown, but I'm going to guess within the 1900s. Looks like a little pioneer girl. She also, it's hard to see her face.
Yeah.
She's got like her little bonnet, and that's a terrible sound. What on earth was that?
Plastic on other plastic.
Ouch. Okay, well, doll and doll stand. Not all of them have doll stands. Oh, here we go. Spell candles, St. Michael the Archangel, self-explanatory. This one has never been used. It was for in case somebody was really overwhelmed at Inspiration House and felt they needed to bring out the big guns. This one actually was sort of a joke that was left for me, protection against internet trolls. It has been burned once, but not much. I'm perfectly content to let Michael and that one go together as a set. They'll be easier to ship together, I think. Oh, let's see. What else?
Another thing, which I will also put into the chat for folks who join later or came and missed this piece. If you see anything on these shelves that you are interested in, before we post it publicly, I can send you a link once we get all the postings up, so that you, as always, have first dibs.
So,
put that in the chat.
More magical spell stuff. I had this in the display. These are from my personal collection. They have been used. Again, a lot of my magic is written magic and written spells, sigils, and incantations. These are, this company doesn't exist anymore. Anna Riva in the 80s and 90s was the place to go for all of the weird stuff, like High John Conqueror root and like all the hoodoo and lucky mojo kind of stuff was this company back then. This is Bat's Blood ink and Dragon's Blood ink. Neither of them contain blood. It's just a phrase, just so you know. just so you know. But the purpose, Bat's Blood was baneful. Dragon's Blood is for power. The Dragon's Blood looks a little chunky because I did in fact take some Dragon's Blood incense and imbued it in there. I did a few extra things to both of these to make them tuned to my own practice. But as it turns out, I just didn't have that much like bad stuff to want to do. So I didn't go through a lot of the Bat's Blood ink, but there's only a little bit of Dragon's Blood left. So those will go as a set. Especially if you want to experiment with textual magic, sigil magic, anything like that, or if you're just a collector of old weird stuff. I didn't set out to be a collector of old weird stuff. Wait, I am old weird stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I am now.
You're like a magnet for yourself. You're not that old, but you are that weird.
I mean, you know, sometimes, some days I feel older than I do, and some days I don't feel old at all, and who knows? I guess it's like that for everybody. This is a little intention box that I got for Inspiration House with the idea of you write out your intention for the day or the week or the month, and you put it inside the box with the pretty tree, and your intention or your growth, your prosperity, your creativity grows. So,
oh my gosh. There's a doll's shoe in the box. I think it probably goes with this one.
Yes, I think that's
Maybe
hers.
she only had one. Oh dear.
I think she lost a shoe somewhere along the line. That's fine.
And there's a creepy doll.
There's a lot of them.
Only has one shoe.
Here is another little spell jar. Nothing fancy, just ceramic with some doodads. And I'm not entirely certain that it's actually a stone and isn't just some sort of plastic resin thing, but it was pretty and it made for a good display. It held incense sticks. Why don't I get to some of the really, really cool stuff? Like, okay. Really, really cool. Well, I have to move past this. This is one of my original altar cloths from college. I mean, honestly, it's pretty much just a scarf. But it was pretty, and it has got little pentacles and little moons, and it is gold and blue, and I thought it was incredibly cool back in the day. I think I got it from not Goddess Elite. Delphic Books. Delphic Books in Coventry. I have now made it so it's not folded up. Please fix. Thank you.
You got it.
Okay. I was trying.
Sorry.
To get this. Okay. So there is some Paranormal State memorabilia. Like I said, we didn't add it into the Inspiration House sale. So, a long time ago. This is not the first UNIFCon that I attended. This is the second UNIFCon, but this is the program book for UNIFCon 2007. So UNIFCon 6, and if you are familiar with Paranormal State and the PRS, they got their start because they ran this paranormal convention out of State College. This one has Father James LeVar, Dave Schrader, who was one of his first appearances, like really like with all the big kids. We got Keith Johnson, Patty Starr, Patrick Burns, Chris Fleming, Dr. David Hufford, who wrote about a bunch of stuff on like Night Hag and Nightmare, Lloyd Auerbach, Jason and Grant, Lorraine Warren and Chip Coffey. And this is the list of all of the classes and the like meet the people, and this will go up for people who wish to collect such things.
Wow, I did not realize how much stuff was still left.
There's a lot of little doodads
and we've gone through
yeah.
a lot. Anyway.
This is a little waterproof notebook that Ryan handed out to all of the team for us to take notes. This is from 2010 and has notes, my notes from the Glove 2, June 2010, Salon Phenomena. These are notes of impressions, some different bits of research after the fact. And it stops with the Pukwudgie episode in Weymouth, Massachusetts, because frankly, that one was just bananas. And I was too busy to not like actually have any kind of notes. Oh, there's more further in. Oh, yep. Okay, Weymouth case. Oh yeah, no, there's a whole bunch more of just, you get to see my process here. And some stuff with post-interview impressions. And also what my handwriting looks like when I am writing with my eyes closed in the dark. Anyway, so that will go up. Paranormal State memorabilia. Number 2. Little spell jar. Number 2. Goes with that one, in case you couldn't tell. This is for the Christo-pagans among you, if the cross is still a thing. I actually got this because I had a couple of blessed rosaries and I needed a nice display thing for it. So this has been sitting in the display case of Inspiration House with a rosary from the Holy Land. And the rosary I gave to someone, and this is just kind of hanging out. Okay, Illyria keeps burying the things that I am trying to like actually do something with. Oh,
curses.
Okay, so this guy. Another Christian thing, which might seem weird for me to have, but this was a gift from Father Bob. It is the three travelers, the three angels. It is an angel icon, and while I like it very much, it's just not quite my style. So it had been up in the display with a bunch of stuff that was related to the Catholic rite of exorcism and various rituals connected with Roman Catholicism and their influence on various parts of the paranormal and our perceptions of it. And so this will also go for people to acquire. I'm going to focus on some of the Paranormal State stuff because I know people were asking. And honestly, I'm just happy to get these.
Get these out into the world.
Well, yeah, to get them out of my, just get them out. So, what one is this even for? This is, I don't even know what episode this is for.
Can you hold it up a little bit?
Yeah, so I was trying to, okay, this is season 4, and it starts with the onset rules as per Ryan. So these are the rules for the crew. What people are supposed to do during dead time, what interviews are supposed to be like, interactions with clients, story notes and pickup questions. And then there is, I think I will take this final page off because it is everybody's phone number.
That's probably a good idea.
That goes. So we will not share the phone numbers of all of the cast and crew, but the onset rules for season 4. One down. Should probably just. I don't need that anymore. Okay, this is from Salem, Paranormal State's field trip. This was the handout for everybody. So this has all of the information, the table of contents, registration details, codes of conduct, and what all we're doing. We did a mock witch trial in the old courthouse. Here's the whole schedule. Workshops. So you'll see Don Lewis and Elfie and Daryl Morazzini and myself. That is another Paranormal State piece of memorabilia that will go up on the page. Ta-da! Here's my first Unicon. This is actually what started it all. This is how I ended up on Paranormal State. They wanted me to come out and talk as an expert on energy work and psychic vampires, and the production company was out there scouting them, and they liked all of us. So this is how I got sucked into this whole thing, for good, for bad. It was a fun time. So this one again, we've got Jason and Grant and Chris Fleming, and you'll see. Oh man, everybody looks so young. Just all that stuff. That one goes up too. Okay, there's another one of these somewhere, but okay, so Paranormal State was unscripted, which doesn't mean that there was nothing written up about the episodes. It means that scripts were written as we filmed. So as we did work, there were notes, there were like schedules for like, you know, go have this meeting with this person. And that was sort of what our script looked like. It was just sort of a call sheet of who needed to be where and when. And I didn't normally get these until after doing the walkthrough, although early on I would get them with everybody else because that wasn't necessarily like doing the whole blind. But this is for Salon Phenomena. This is the whole shebang. I believe Elfie and Chris put these together. It's information on the property and the research that folks did. Details on like, in this case, there was a train accident that was nearby that they wanted us to like look into. And then there's like archival stuff. And there was just, all of this was printed out, and everybody on the crew got handed this, or the cast. And this was my copy. Oh, okay, that's most of the Paranormal State stuff. To go along with the little Christian-y thing, this is a set of, let's see, holy oil, holy soil, and holy water from Jerusalem. If that is your thing. Where did my wife go? We have lost the Illyria. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. I bet you she had to go to the bathroom. Oh, let's see, what else do we have? There is nothing particularly magical about this. This is literally just a flute that I used to play, that I got at some little like collector's shop. I think it was made in India. Actually, let me see if it is still playable. I'm going to apologize ahead of time if this is super, super shrill. So, it still works. Yes, dear? Hello. Hello.
Apologies if I need to.
Yeah, no,
run
it's
off
okay.
again.
Yep, no, it's fine. Oh, okay. So I went through most of the Paranormal State stuff.
Cool.
Are there any comments, questions?
Just Karen saying, I love all things Paranormal State. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we
It
will.
feels like a lot of.
Yeah, no, there's really a lot of stuff. There's so much stuff. Here's this little guy. This is a fairy house, which I hand painted. It's got some of my own sigils on it. And it has, if you're familiar with the Yeats poem, "Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand." It has the date that I made it, 2014, and it has been rehomed now. It was over at Inspiration House for a little while. Also usable, as a birdhouse. So, top, very top, tippy top, tippy top. Okay. Oh, it's a little bit dusty because it's been outside. I'm not sure if this is leather. Okay, if you're vegan, this is probably not for you. This is a leather covered journal with a tree of life. It's got this little like thing to seal it. It is completely empty because I will pick things like this up with every intention of turning them into the awesome book of shadows, and then they are too cool to write in, so they just sit and soak up magical mojo in my ritual chamber. So that one's up for sale.
Oh, now there are a bunch of questions about you and the flute.
Oh,
is there anything you can't do?
Oh,
is one of the questions.
I mean, I play wood. I haven't played flute in a while, but I play woodwinds. I can play most reeded instruments as well. I'm not as great with brass. I really struggle with strings. Like I wish, because my mom was a violinist, I wish I was better with violin and guitar, but I am not. And I'm on piano. But yeah, I'm very musically inclined, and that doesn't seem weird to me because that was just something that ran in my family. We could all just pick up a musical instrument and make it make noise, like, and not just noise, like we could pick it up and have it make a melody. That's just a family thing. It's as normal to me as being psychic.
Well, yeah, another great example.
Yeah. All right, this is if you want to get back into writing snail mail, these are little stationery collections that were handmade and all fancified. This one has a floral theme. And the other one has a dream walking theme. And kind of a steampunk look. There's a lot of keys, little clock faces. I think this one must have had Maduro cigars in it. It's got a very strong scent. There's hopefully did not. Okay, good. I went to put one on top of the other and realized that was a bad plan. Okay, the chair and the dog kind of go together.
Yeah.
She had a little wand.
Did she? Well,
yeah, it's gone.
Currently she doesn't.
All right, well, she likes to sit in repose. She had little shoes. I think we only have one now. She's very pretty in pink, came on her chair and sat with all of the other haunted dolls at Inspiration House. Honestly, just very fancy, not particularly haunted. I would say that this one does have a very mild residue of just, I don't know, like I feel pretty. Like there's like somebody played house with this doll and you can feel it. And it's a fun feeling, actually. It's a very like heartwarming feeling. So she will also be going to someone who really wants her. Most of her, let's see, from here up is porcelain, hands are porcelain, feet are porcelain, and the body is bendable. Oh, I'm running out of space.
We could move your chair to one side.
I also don't want to put her like high up, like the dolls and stuff. I don't want anybody like falling over.
No, that makes sense.
Okay. There you go. Because it's a concrete floor out here. Oh, let's see. A couple of things that are your mom's.
Yeah.
I don't know the story of all of them. So Illyria's mom traveled all over the place.
Yeah, that looks like a Japan.
Yeah, well, this is clearly, this is just a little, this is a Japanese knick-knack dish. It is glass. It is very delicate. Given Illyria's mom's taste, it was probably very expensive.
Yes.
We've started to learn, when I go and like, oh, this is probably $20. I'll look it up and I'm like, oh, no, maybe not. But we have no idea, and it will, honestly, it's been, just holding coins and
No,
stones?
it hasn't been holding anything because it's so delicate.
Okay. I think that's actually one reason why we don't want it.
Yeah.
Too delicate. Everything that is shaped like this in this house eventually is covered with crystals, stones, rocks, and fossils. Like that's just how it is.
Oh, only the ones that aren't going to break.
Exactly. Anyway, so
it's a good problem.
Yep. So that will go. It will take some careful packaging.
Yeah. Here's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so if you want to go old school with your EVPs, this is the old school tape recorder that I kept at Inspiration House for people to use on their investigations. It still has a tape in it. Pulse of the Planet, December 1998, Natural Astronomy, 2 programs. This sounds like your mom's.
Oh, yeah, that definitely does. That's really funny.
I don't know.
It must have been over at the at Inspiration.
Yeah, somebody was like, I'm curious. I wonder if somebody just recorded over it. It's entirely possible.
And this goes with it.
This goes
from
with
the
it.
Inspiration House.
So this is
room.
What the things in the display room look like.
You did such a beautiful job putting that display together.
It was fun. I mean, it was a big craft project. It was sort of like anyway. So it's got a little microphone. It does still work. So that will also be going. Was there other equipment-y stuff?
Not in the current bin that I'm on.
Okay.
Oh, actually, there is one other thing that I can see now.
Yeah, what you don't get to see is like there's just, oh yeah, this is from. Okay, so full disclosure, this doesn't actually work as far as anyone can tell. It arrived broken, but this was a Gauss meter. Not a Gauss meter. It's a galvanic skin response that was used on Fact or Faked, and it was being sold off by Bill, who, if you know the story with Fact or Faked and Bill and his wife, she ended up having a series of aneurysms, like just very bad health things occurred. He needed to sell a bunch of stuff off. I didn't care if it worked or not. I just wanted to toss some money to a friend who was in need. So I had this on the display. I can see now why it doesn't work. The leads are completely frayed. But it was galvanic skin response. I can check with Bill to find out which episode of Fact or Faked it was made for. He makes most, if not all, of his own stuff. And so another little bit of paranormal memorabilia. And as you all know, I'm not like super into the tech stuff. So if I get it, it's mostly because I just want to. Oh, that's the one that's got her little.
Yes, we found the one with the wand.
Yeah. Another pretty porcelain doll, mostly posable. This one has a star theme. She kind of looks like Glinda the Good Witch, but I don't think that she's meant to be. But anyway, yet another not very creepy doll. This one's real fancy. She actually spent most of her time in the closet because there just honestly wasn't room for her. And I didn't have a good thing for her to stand up with.
Poor closet doll.
Well, I mean, she just hung out.
Yep.
She's real pretty.
She's a cutie.
Okay.
And also, thank you all for hanging out with us briefly while we go through the last of this stuff.
Oh, we're not even Yeah, we'll be here all day if we
Well,
want
if we
to
try to
go
go
through
through all of it.
all of it. This was just one of the welcome signs hanging
No.
at its what?
Not just one. It was the one hanging in the creator suite that I always stared at as I was writing poems
Okay.
over there.
This
It was a
was
good one.
our welcome sign in the creator's suite at Inspiration House.
Oh, we're incredibly good at underplaying.
Have you met me?
I mean, once or twice.
I am Captain Understatement.
Truth. Discover what that is on camera.
This is Incense
Yes.
from probably, I mean, it's bamboo, so I'm going to guess that your mom got it in Japan.
That was also my guess.
That's a weird smell.
Really? I didn't get so far as smelling it before.
I have no idea what. Coconut?
I have no idea.
Coconut is the top note.
Oh. Yeah, that smells very much like sunscreen that you use
Yep.
in Hawaii.
Nope, that's
bizarre.
Smells like coconut. So weird coconut stick incense in a bamboo holder. Honestly, I think the bamboo holder is cooler than the incense, which is probably 30 years old.
Oh.
But hey, if coconut is your thing.
Oh.
I am such a good salesperson.
Here's this awesome thing. We're just gonna shove it on a shelf here.
I mean, okay.
Here's
so,
this awesome thing.
Oh yeah. So this was the sign for the display room at Inspiration House. So when we first put Inspiration House together, and we were, listing it on Airbnb, and we hadn't disclosed that it was haunted yet, I had to find a way to, explain the display room and not scare people off. So it says, this house is owned by a comparative religion scholar whose life's work has been devoted to the study of alternative faiths and practices, particularly with regards to the paranormal. Beyond this door, you will find a collection of items and displays that explore humanity's connection to psychic phenomena and the unseen world of spirits. Some of these items are reportedly haunted. Many are simply tools attributed with meaning by the people or cultures that use them. Please enter with an open mind and a willingness to learn about many different perspectives. Ta-da!
Incenses.
Yep, incense that, now that I'm allergic to everything, I can't really use. This is Samhain and Out of Body incense from the Copper Cauldron. And if you're familiar with that, this is from Christopher Penczak and his Temple of Witchcraft people, which they were gifts to me, and I can no longer use this particular sort of incense easily without an asthma attack. So it's loose incense. You put it over a
brazier.
Charcoal on a brazier, yes. These are from Leylican Awen. They are Wheel of the Year candles. So we've got Imbolc, Lugnasad, Beltane, Lugnasad. Oh God,
I've never known how to pronounce that word.
I believe it's Lugnasad, but I'm not entirely sure. And at this point, don't quote me on it. It's been a while. And also, when people were telling me how to pronounce these things in 1991 and 92, some of them still called them the Celtics. Sorry, the Celtics versus the Celtics versus anyway. Or Samhain. It's Samhain. The person who would know would be either, anyway, they're candles. They are
magically connected candles.
So actually what I should say, Leylican is a fantastic chandler and does a great deal of magic for these. The only one out of this set that is missing is Samhain. I used the Samhain one for some stuff that I was doing at Inspiration House. I wasn't doing every one of the things in the Wheel of the Year, so all of these are just kind of hanging out. So summer solstice and Beltane, the equinoxes and winter solstice, they smell fantastic.
Yeah.
They are real beeswax. They are hand rolled and very cool. And crinkly.
Yeah, they're very crinkly.
Very crinkly. So a almost complete minus Samhain collection of Wheel of the Year seasonal candles. Okay. So this is another piece of me memorabilia. This is a silk stole handmade for me for one of the opening and closing rituals at HK Gather, the year that we did the Unity Rite and the Unity Meditation. So it is styled after a Catholic priest's stole in the colors of my particular thing. It's got ankhs all over it. It's got an ankh in the back of it. It's very fancy, and it was made with love and attention, and it is absolutely not my style. So I wore it for the ritual, and I have a hard time with gifts because I know that people make them with every best intention, and I am difficult to make things for. I prefer to make my own ritual tools, and at the end of the day, I would like to pass this on to someone who can either use it or will appreciate it for the ritual item that it was.
Yeah, very unique.
Yes, handmade, one of a kind.
Yeah. Cool. What about this?
Oh, what are we looking at?
This is a cute little guy.
Oh, this, if you know, you know. This is a no smoking property. This was for Inspiration House. We had a couple of them. Needed to tap the sign a few times, but a sign that was up at Inspiration House about non-smoking. Frankly, it's just got a fantastic little. I collect frames. Like back when I would go thrifting, like it was all about like getting frames and other weird stuff. So this is just a really cool little filigree metal frame.
Put together by hand.
Yeah, so even if you're not keen on a no smoking sign, the frame is awesome.
Here are.
This I was actually, I'm glad this didn't sell. So this, I didn't look it up. This is a hand tooled, hand carved wooden chalice. It is signed and numbered. It is 8 of 78. Well, okay, it says 870. Oh, you know what? Maybe that is the year. I bet you that's the year. 878, 125, WB. So I had it, God, where did I even pick this up? I think honestly this was a Goodwill find. And I had it in my Wiccan display of just like the chalice and the blade and the whole thing. So it's really only ever been used as a display item. I have no idea if it is safe for drinking out of. I would err on the side of not. It is very light and very delicate. I do not know the wood that it is made out of. But yeah, I'm betting that's 878. So 1978 would have been when it was crafted.
Cool.
It's older than Illyria for sure. It's not older than me, but it's close. Let's see. 2 sets of itty bitty tarot cards. I do not think that they are complete anymore. People would pull them out and play with them, but they were part of the tarot display at Inspiration House. What these would be good for is if you want to make a collage or do a craft project and you want some really tiny writer weights to work with, these are your guys.
Or if you have a dollhouse.
Or you have a
need
dollhouse.
tarot
Well, they're
for the dollhouse.
They're super. They're small, but they're not. Maybe they are complete. They're just. They are. Oop. I pulled out the sun. They're this big.
This ones smell really good.
Okay, so scented
Balsam pillows.
Balsam-
A pair of mousses.
Oh, they smell fantastic. So a pair of mousses, balsam stuffed pillows.
Those are also from the Creative Suite.
Yeah. Yeah, the mousses, as you can guess, not exactly my style. These were probably Illyria's.
Yes.
Oh, they really do smell great. I will probably be allergic to them soon, but
Oh no.
oh no, it's
Poor mousses.
COVID just all of my allergies are worse. It's fine. Shot glasses
Cute little scully
with
shot
little
glass.
skulls. These are for a sake set. I don't know if the other part of
Yeah,
it.
I have not seen
Okay.
many of the other parts.
They are 2 little sake cups. If we find the rest of it, I'll put those aside. We'll see if it turns out. Yeah. This was a gift. They are called Beautiful Mother Messages. This is one of those, this is well intentioned, but it's not my style. Maybe it's yours. As I spill them everywhere.
Oh.
Okay, so they have like, the backs of them have like these 2 little like fairy / angel looking things. They're all different colors. And they say things like, you are a bee sipping from the nectar from a honeysuckle. You are the beautiful mother dancing with roses in your hair. Are you sure this wasn't your mom's?
They probably were exactly that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so many people would leave stuff. So it's got a little fairy that I'm dropping and a little angel. This is a tiny, tiny little metal angel. But yeah, it's just a bunch of weird little affirmations. Very, very femme focused, which is why it's not quite my thing. You are the beautiful mother hugging snowflakes to craggy peaks. Wow. Again, I apologize if this is something that actually appeals to you. It is not my thing. I won't pretend that it is, but it might be somebody's thing. Oh, these are fun. This is Temple Visions Incense, and this is Arabesque Incense. These were hand blended by me. Oh boy, I think I was still in college. Red sandalwood, benzoin, orris root is in the Temple Visions, and Arabesque has got frankincense, clove, and cinnamon. True to like good incense, it's still very distinctly like, it has not gone bad. This stuff, if you store it well, will stay good for pretty much ever. This goes on a charcoal. Unlike Keefe, it can go directly on the charcoal. And you just take a bit of it and sprinkle. You can cast it into a fire as well. It's really cool to take like a little pinch of it over a bonfire and just throw it into the bonfire. It never hits the fire. It sparks, and the fire carries it up in like these tiny, and it doesn't spark to the point where like it stays on fire so it'll catch fire. It's like little fire glitter. It's like this little like flash powder of scent.
Neat.
It's really cool. So these were some of my first. I made these for my personal practice. They were on my altar for many years. I obviously made so much that I didn't use that much of it. The one that I used the most of was Phoenix, which is a sandalwood and cinnamon blend. That one is all gone. These 2 were not quite as used as much because their purposes weren't really things that I did that much with. But I do a lot of work with rebirth. Temple Visions is for exactly what it says. Arabesque was really like, I like the smell of this. So I just made it because I was experimenting with it. The frankincense, I would use it for cleansing. It's very heavy on the frankincense, and it's old frankincense, like really high quality old stuff. Like you can't get some of this anymore.
Which of these 3 would you like?
Let's see. What is this?
I don't know.
Oh, it's an EMF meter. So this was a lost and found at Inspiration House. It is an EMF meter that somebody left behind. I have not tested it to see if it works. I haven't even opened it to see if it has batteries. But an EMF meter from Paranormal Investigations at Inspiration House. This was on the display case. It is a sage bundle, as well as several, let's see, there's tiger's eye, there's an amethyst, and there's a hematite. So it's a little cleansing bag.
I want to plug, so these may be more significant to me.
Yeah.
Because they are, to me, the smell of Inspiration House.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we got a ton of these, and there's still probably 5 left that aren't most of the way burned down. The ones that are burned down, I'm actually keeping to keep that scent around. But
okay,
yeah.
So when we first got Inspiration House, we wanted to have a scent for the house. And Yankee Candle had just released the wood wick. And this, what is this scent? Oud wood. We bought a ton of these.
Yes.
Like, they were like, "Are you sure you want this many?" And I'm like, we just want to stock our little Airbnb with these. So these are oud wood from Yankee Candle. They are the wood wick, which means it flickers and kind of like sparks a little bit. Or I shouldn't say spark. It
does the thing like a fire does.
Yeah, it's like
gutters.
it gutters like an actual fire. It is a subtle, warm. If you like sandalwood, if you like warm, earthy woods, if you're familiar with what oud wood is, it is warm, earthy, slightly sweet. And we got a bunch. This is a set of 5 little teacups. They are handcrafted from Japan. So they are also, I think, a memento. Mm-hmm. There are several of these still left, which were the souvenir mugs that I had made for Inspiration House. Oh, we are running out of space.
Yes, we are.
I don't think we've even gotten through half of it.
Well, we might have actually gotten through about half.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's one more from me. And then I'll let you pick the last couple of things from that bench.
Yet again, a well-intentioned journal. Again, if you are vegan, this is not for you because it is leather. It has tooling and a tiger's eye. This one looks like it might be handmade and handmade paper. Oh, that might be where it's from.
Might be. Yes. Handmade. In fact.
Handmade.
It came as if called.
Fascia. Fabulous things. So it's got broadly a floral theme. It's lots of like little vines and living things. So that one is also going on the list of things to go.
Maybe down below.
Yeah, sure.
Or space down below. So.
Ta-da!
Things I see, they're cool. Odds and ends of psychic aptitude cards.
Okay, yeah. So people would use the psychic aptitude cards at Inspiration House, and we had a display one out, and of course people would lose stuff or open new ones. So here is just a stack. I mean, this is probably, 3 mostly combined, I'm going to guess.
Parts of 3 decks.
But these were the ones that were used in some of my classes, and then subsequently by folks who were visiting. They are perfectly serviceable and just a fun little doodah to have. Put that back there. Aha! What did I just knock on the ground? I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go.
So, does this one? This one just doesn't work. So as you knew, Inspiration House was famous for making, or for the music boxes playing. And this one, I think this was part of, it had a really silly thing on top of it. And I wanted to take it apart and find something else to put on top of it. And that turned out to be harder than intended. And it has only played once or twice here when I took it home. Currently, it does not seem to work at all, but it is the guts of a music box from Inspiration House. The other music boxes all sold, or I am going to be rehoming the Fisher-Price toy with Katrina Weidman, so she can use it potentially on investigations. It seems like a good use of it. Oh, let's see, what else? Not magical exactly, but actually kind of pagan in a fun way. This is Wedgwood, if you're familiar with that particular collectible. It's got a mythology theme, very neoclassical, lots of nymphs and cupids and whatnot. It's vaguely heart-shaped. I didn't want to just throw it off on the sale. It's got the Wedgwood stamp, made in England, if this is a thing that you like to collect, or if you are of a neoclassical pagan sort, if Greek or Roman stuff appeals to you, it would be a nice little altarpiece. Fancy, very fancy. Oh, what else? This is from the display room, Evil Eye, Hamsa. So this is the Hand of Fatima, and these are meant to ward off the evil eye and bad luck. There is a little thing for it. Yeah, there we go. Evil Eye charm. So you will find these, the background, it's Persian, Turkish, Arabic. The I like blue bead is sometimes called a nazar. I believe that is the Persian word for it. And so here is the display. And let me be clear that this was just sold at a Western New Age store. So the likelihood that it is itself of Persian, Turkish, or Arabic origin is very slim. And chances are high that it was just made in China. And but anyway, it is in the style of. More old incense, more Japanese incense. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this one is taro incense, the world. And these are little Japanese stick incenses. So Japanese incense is really kind of neat because it's like, you might be used to the punk stick where like there's like the stuff on a stick and then you use the stick. This whole thing can burn. It's you just light the end of it, blow it out, and it will smolder all the way down, and you just stick it in a little thing to hold it. That is ideally fireproof or at least heat resistant. Please don't catch yourself on fire. The smell is very subtle. I am uncertain what it is. It's possibly, is that like a pine or a balsam? It just smells sweet and powdery to me.
Yeah, more like general pagan shop.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It smells like a random pagan shop. I'm not sure how to describe the World Tarot one, but incense. And even more incense. I think it's some of the same stuff. Actually, I'm pretty sure. This one says, oh, hey, this one actually is in English. It says sandalwood.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, nope, there is English on there. These all say sandalwood. It doesn't quite smell like sandalwood to me. But, well, I guess it does. It's got that sort of like sweet, soft, almost like, I associate it with soap because most of my soaps are sandalwood.
It's sandalwood now.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 things of Japanese sandalwood incense.
I think perhaps we should not try to get through.
Oh, I'm not going to try to get through all of it. I'm about toasty. Do you have like one thing you definitely want me to talk about?
I think one of those 2
Okay.
would be very cool.
This one you need to talk about because I really don't know.
I know nothing about it except that it's been on display.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's your mom's.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know.
I want to say that she used it for like fanning sage.
Okay. So
that's about all I know.
This is odd. So Illyria's mom, in addition to being astrophysicist, was also how would you typify her like
spiritual?
Yeah,
a practitioner, a seeker.
Yeah, very. But like she hits a very specific New Age fusion spirituality that was popular among women's groups in the 80s. There is a lot of Native American influence, which sometimes feels a little culturally appropriative, except we know for a fact that she went to places and like learned directly from people. So there's a lot of things that came from that. This is one of them, and it is a pheasant wing, the whole wing. It's not just a couple of feathers. And it was part of her sacred room. And I believe that you use it to waft sacred incense smoke for cleansing and clearing. Again, not for the faint of heart or for vegans or vegetarians. It looks like it was bond. Actually, it looks like there's like a little bit of glue, like it might have been attached to something at some point.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but it is one of the many weird things that we had left over from Illyria's mom that I had on display with some of her other native stuff. Yep, sorry, doesn't go back there. There we go.
Where to drop things. I think this would be a good last thing for this stream.
This is an orgonite pendulum. It was a gift. Not quite my,
It's been on the display, or in the display case at Inspiration House.
And not just on the display case, but there were a bunch of tools that I let people use that I just had on hand. There were dowsing rods, there were pendulums, and this is one such. I have no idea, how often it did or didn't get used. It is one of the only ones that didn't sell, though. But there you go. Okay, I feel toasty.
Yeah, even like still handling.
There's a lot.
Some feels.
Oh, well, also like when we were driving home with a bunch of the stuff from the haunted place in the car, like there was this sort of process where like we could hear like the music boxes and things were still going. The little Fisher Price toy. It has not played since we moved back. Since we moved everything back here and just set it down. Like nothing has played. It doesn't feel like anything came with us from any of the spirits that were active at Inspiration House. It felt on that drive more like they were kind of like hanging around to say goodbye, like riding in the back. And like they went about like I'd say 3/4 of the way. And when we hit the boundary for Medina, like right outside the square. It just sort of stopped. Now, it was also a pretty weird night because of the storm we were driving through. So everything felt real liminal. But yeah, there's still a lot of energy attached to all the stuff. It was one of the good and bad things about the display room at Inspiration House. You pack that many pieces of weird and things with energy on different types of energy and different ritual tools from different backgrounds. And it was sort of like having 5 different radios all playing on different stations at like the highest volume possible. And you'd walk in and it would just be like, where do I focus? And there's a little bit of that still. Like it's not quite so. The thing about Inspiration House is the space itself amplified. Energy, impressions, spirit stuff, emotional stuff. Like it just, something about the house. I never could figure out if it's like, where was it the land it was built on? Was it how it was constructed? Was it the construction materials? Was it like stone tape theory? Was there a bunch of limestone under there? Was it over like an underground stream? Like all of the different theories, a bunch of things that we wouldn't be able to prove, and I never was able to get in teams that had the materials to like double check. But something about that space, I can say, amplified energy, emotions, and spirit activity. In a neutral way. It wasn't necessarily bad or good. Whatever it was amplifying, it just made it bigger and more intense. So if the emotion was a bad emotion, it definitely amplified that and created like a feedback loop. Or if you brought good stuff, it amplified that. So I hope the person who's living there has a good time. At least she knows what she's getting into.
Very true.
Oh, there's much more. Much more. But we'll start here at first and kind of go from there and, slowly build up the collectibles portion of the webpage. And our goal is to let patrons get first dibs. And, if we have the time and the inclination, the energy, when we're going to do another like big like listing of things, we'll do one of these, let you guys like kind of get a preview of what is there and what's going to be going live, so you can think about what you might want or what you might want to get for a friend. And then I will probably do something similar, not as in depth, on Facebook at a Facebook Live, to just sort of like let everybody else know after you guys get a chance to, get the pick. Yeah, get the cream of the crop. Get your little treasures. There's also a ton of art, but we really have no desire to ship some things that are
really too
I'm looking
big
at
to
one of
ship
which is
practically.
what is that, 36 inches tall?
Yeah.
That is 30.
That one's too big. Some of the smaller ones I think we could ship.
Yeah, a few of the smaller ones, yes. But yeah, the only reason I'd be hesitant to ship some of the things is more not trusting the like delivery to be kind to some of the delicate glass stuff. Like there's that like glass this little thing, which this was a gift from a Paranormal State fan. And actually I think the witch's ball that goes with it is over there. Yeah. It's cranberry glass. This is a little oil lamp, and then they're both hand blown from somewhere in Pennsylvania, I believe. And again,
they're beautiful.
They're beautiful, and again, just not quite my thing. So anyway, but it's glass. I'm not sure about shipping the glass.
Hey, put that over with me.
All right, fine. Over here.
Oh, good. We're shipping your phone away. That'll be so much nicer.
You're the one who put it there, so I suspect.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
You placed it down. You moved the bookshelf over, and then you
Sure.
were like, I'm not sure where I put my phone, and I said it's right here.
Okay.
Just because I pointed it out doesn't mean I put it there.
Okay. This is my skeptical face.
Yeah. Well,
skeptical.
The one thing I can remember is where a thing is physically located. So.
Tiniest violin. Anyway.
Thanks for hanging out with us and helping us get through some of this stuff, folks.
Oh,
and now
there's so much stuff.
We'll fall over.
Yep. Farewell.